My name is Rich Dusansky. I'm a professor of economics at the University of Texas at Austin, and I've been teaching economics since 1968 at various places. We signed a contract to buy a home. We went through the usual process of trying to get a mortgage, and that mortgage was approved. And at the very last moment, we got a call from the mortgage broker saying that there was a problem. And the problem was that the 3-year report that the IRS provides on my income had my income correct for 2008, for 2009, and should have come back for 2010 with the statement not yet submitted. Because I take the automatic 6-month extension and I don't send in my return until around October 1. Instead, it came in with a return having been submitted, very low income, a few $1,000s, and whoever sent it in got a refund. Someone got my Social Security number, my name, created a false W-2, that's what an employer fills out, and sent it into the IRS, did it electronically, so there was a fast turnaround, and got a check in the mail, or an automatic deposit in a checking account, which probably immediately went to a Swiss account. And it's one of these things that I've read about on and off for many years, how people become victims of identity theft, and something never going to happen to me. And it did happen to me. And I spent many hours on the phone and then in person with the IRS trying to get this straightened out. And it was a very harrowing week. Of course, I had to do my tax return, and here I am in California, and all my stuff is sitting in my home in Austin, Texas. It wasn't easy, but we got it done, and I finally got the mortgage. There are many rings. The one that relates to me is one that operates out of Brooklyn, New York. And I don't know how they get the Social Security numbers, but every now and then you read something in the paper how there's been a break-in to some bank or financial company, not a physical break-in, stealing of records through the internet. And there are a few thousand Social Security numbers that were given out by mistake or taken away. And the people who get these do various things with them. And my ring was in the business of just throwing darts in the air, submitting returns to the IRS, and seeing which ones they got lucky with. In my case, they got pretty lucky. Take some preventive measures, okay? For a certain, I don't know, $10 or $20 a month, you can pay a service who will monitor what's going on with your credit. There are 3 agencies that provide credit reports. I went beyond that and did it myself. For $10 a shot, I was able to freeze my credit reports. So that means that someone who has my Social Security and knows lots of things about me, which you can find out on the web, still cannot get a loan using my name and Social Security number, can not get a mortgage, cannot get anything that requires someone getting a credit report. Because if you try and get a credit report on me, you get nothing. Even I can't get it unless I use the very special ID number that they've given me and that only I have. I've also learned to be really careful when I get telephone calls and people wanting certain information and often ask for my Social Security number. I say, well, that I can't give you, and if we can't go any further, like if I want to buy something using my credit card, the conversation is over. Very often, I think this is common, you get emails that pretend to be your bank. or pretend to be somewhere else where you might have a certain account. And they say, well, we just have to confirm our records, or there's a problem with your account. So if you give us your ID number and your social security number, we'll be able to clear it up. You should immediately do away with that message. And one time I actually followed up on it by taking out my credit card, because it supposedly came from a Bank of America credit card that I had, and I called their 800 number. And I said, I just got this email. Do you want to talk to me? And the answer was no. And the person I spoke to said, this is going on all the time, and it's increasing in frequency. What I learned in talking to the IRS, that what had been a few thousand cases just a few years ago is now over 200,000 cases this year and growing. So protect yourself. Don't give out your social security number, and if you've got an income and some money in the bank, freeze your credit agency reports, which you can always unfreeze if you want to take out a loan or buy a car or buy a house, and then refreeze it again. So that's what I come away with. And I've been telling all my friends to do this. We were about 10 or 11 days away from the official closing date, and I had put down a $10,000 deposit, and technically if I couldn't close I would lose that. Now I might have gotten an extension, I don't know, but it looked like I was not going to be able to make this correction in time. But I had some friends who helped me out, people back in Austin who went back into my house and got my tax records for me, and I got online and downloaded everything that I needed, and I got a CPA accountant who was willing to kind of work on this immediately. And then I took the return that he sent me and walked into the local IRS office here in San Diego to give it to them in person, and someone who stamped and signed for the return turned out to be very helpful in putting special information in my file, which helped me get a mortgage.